And I say this is a problem I never thought I would have. Hi, welcome to the Wild Gut Project. My name is Carrie. This is all about being vegan on the low FODMAP diet for IBS. And this video is actually requested, and it's about how to be practically organised enough on this extremely restrictive diet to make sure you eat enough and then can make good decisions, because it's very easy to accidentally undereat, find yourself hungry and either eat too much or eat the wrong thing. So these are going to be some tips. It's annoying because this is something I struggled with at the beginning and I got a hang of it, and now I've started training for the Hackney Half Marathon, which means I then have to have times, firstly like eat more and then not have just eaten when I go to practice running. It's just logistically it's hard to organise making sure it matches when I want to wash my hair, let alone all my meals. So I needed these tips too, and I've gone to lots of forums and been playing with stuff myself, so hopefully for everyone's different lifestyles and requirements I'll have a suggestion that will help. So the first really important step is to work out what your actual needs are. So you'll probably do this with your dietitian or nutritionist, but if you go on a website such as Chronometer, you can just get a rough idea of how many calories you actually need to eat. And if you accidentally eat 100 less calories on a regular basis than you need to, you can start to lose weight, which isn't great if it's not intentional. So just having an idea of what you're aiming for just means you can check yourself when you make a meal and be like, hold up, this quinoa salad looks delicious and healthy and very Instagrammable, but it's 300 calories. That is not a meal. I will be starving in half an hour. So then you can add more to it because you know. 2 is to beef up your meals with potatoes. Let's just take a moment to praise potatoes because they don't contain FODMAPs and they are delicious, and actually they're very nutritious, especially with the skins. There's lots of minerals in there, so just get on that potato bandwagon. Again, if you make that 300 calorie Instagrammable quinoa salad, add some wedges and you'll probably have yourself a nice 500-600 calorie meal with no FODMAP kind of being added on, but you'll actually have enough food to live off. 3. So in that instance you found yourself having time to make a meal. Don't make one meal, don't make one serving, make more for the next 2 or 3 days. Like, just make some extra portions, freeze it if you can. Just, if you're in the kitchen and you're spending half an hour there anyway, do some prep for future you. Future you will appreciate it. So you could roast some peppers, toast some seeds and nuts, quickly make a pasta sauce with those, and that way, you know, the next day when you really cannot be bothered, you have it already made for you, past you, it's got your back. So number 4 is stock up on snacks. Peanut butter is just like a godsend. You can have it on oat cakes. I would say rice cakes, but they're basically air, so I don't really see them as helping you in this eating enough situation. But you could throw them on some porridge to amp up the calories. You can put it in soup, have it with some fruit, on anything. Yeah, and then there are actually some energy bars, nuts and seeds, making sure you've got some sourdough bread in the freezer so you can have some toast. Just having all that stuff waiting for you when you need it, in just 2 minutes it's ready, it makes all the difference. Kind of building on that for number 5, and I mentioned this in my tips for people starting the low FODMAP diet, is have these stashes everywhere you need them in your life. At work, have a stash of low FODMAP snacks, have your peanut butter, some rice noodles, some oat cakes. At your best friend's house that you visit all the time, have a stash there. At your boyfriend's, your girlfriend's, at your mum's, you know, have some food that you can always turn to. Number 6 is don't leave the house without food. Just grab some nuts, grab some satsumas, grab leftovers and put them in a Tupperware box if you think you're going to be out the house for a long time. Just try not to go empty-handed, because having a little snack just can take you that extra half an hour you need to get home to make a good decision, rather than just cracking and having something that will make you feel sick later. I think it's number 7. Now a less healthy but very honest and realistic tip. If I find myself I've got accidentally not had dinner, it's 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening and I'm out in the city and there's no kind of obvious options immediately available to me, like I will have some chips or fries if you're not from the UK, so potato. love that potato. And it helps you not make really bad decisions that will then make you feel sick later. Like, I would rather have something that's a bit unhealthy and not have IBS is kind of the point here. If it gets you that extra hour you need to get home to then make something, you can make something balanced and healthy then that's not high FODMAP, like, it's kind of worth it. This is a short-term thing, like, you just want to eat some food. So you can have chips, you can have crisps, or chips if you're not from the UK. If there's somewhere that sells nuts, you can have some peanuts. Like, sometimes it's just better to have something that's low FODMAP, even if it's not healthy, just so then you don't get sick and feel terrible, because you can always eat a salad when you get home, but there's no way you're eating just a salad if you're absolutely starving. You're going to end up eating too much in one go and make yourself sick. Another tip I found really, really useful, and I think probably a lot of people are doing this anyway, but if I am really hungry and I'm like trying to be good, I'm going to make myself a healthy dinner that's low FODMAP, there's nothing wrong with snacking while you cook. Like, if it's going to be ready in half an hour, like, get a jar of peanut butter and have a spoonful. Like, have some fruit while you cook. It just makes such a difference in terms of that's an extra 100 calories. Like, again, adds up, gets you through. So yeah, if you find yourself desperate, have a little something just to keep you going while you actually cook. Building up a repertoire of kind of 10-minute meals is also essential. So in my last What I Eat in a Day video, I filmed a coconut peanut noodle satay soup, and that took me 10 minutes to make. And knowing that I can make that and trying to be organised enough to have that stuff I need in the fridge, it just means that it's much easier just to force yourself to make it. I've lost count, I didn't write this down. This tip happened a little bit by accident, and it's basically have 2 dinners. What? So my boyfriend's Italian. Italians like to eat between 9 and 10. In England, typically we eat between 6 and 7. So if I wait that long, like, I am starving. And he can have a huge meal, whereas I can't. Like, I'm limited to that small portion of gluten-free pasta. So I have just started having dinner between 6 and 7, and also having dinner between 9 and 10. It works brilliantly, it means I get in enough calories, and it's so simple, but it makes such a difference. Kind of similar to that is that I'm the sort of person that very easily doesn't have breakfast. Like, I don't feel very hungry in the morning, but I've had to get in the habit of just forcing myself to eat. The portion sizes are quite limited, you're not meant to continuously eat, so you don't start kind of stacking those portions on top of each other and effectively have a high FODMAP meal just over a slightly longer period of time. So then you're only allowed to have small amounts spread out, and if you accidentally miss one of those moments to eat, like, you're down by 15%, which long term is not healthy. Like, having a small portion of porridge with some seeds and fruit, like, that's an extra, I don't know, 300 calories that otherwise I'd go without. So if I consistently make sure I eat that, it means I'm really starting on like a good foot in the morning, and I'm going to be able to eat enough that day. I think I will do a meal prepping video, definitely, because I think that'd be really useful. Although I'm probably not going to do that thing when people seem to have the same meal 5 days in a row and their Friday lunch is like a super stale salad. Like, no one wants to eat that. So maybe more about food you can freeze for the coming few weeks rather than, yeah, stale carrot sticks. Yeah, I hope that some of those kind of could work for your lifestyle. I know everyone has different lives, different work structures, like the one tip is not going to work for everyone. So also, if you found any hacks to make sure you eat enough food, please comment down below, because it might really help someone out. Otherwise, yeah, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos every Sunday evening for vegans on the low FODMAP diet. Yeah, and I will see you then. Bye!